Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're doing a recap of Ready to Love Season 4, The Reunion Part 1. So before we jump into this drama, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash that like button, and also feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. So we got a lot to unpack, and without further ado, let's jump into this video. So it is the long, finally awaited reunion, but this is just part 1, and everybody is looking absolutely gorgeous. I just want to put that out there. The dresses, hey, it's their own style, their own taste. They look good. So that's my thoughts on it. I know some folks have some opinions on some of the dresses, but my opinion is, hey, it speaks to what they like, and if they like it, fine. I'm not going to hate on it. So it's now time to get into the highlights of the show. And there was some new couples. And like every reunion special, there are people that got eliminated that ended up together. Well, this time around, we got Christian and Andrea. Now, they seem to not have much in the way of conversation for each other originally. But after the season was over, and of course after they were eliminated, it seems that they are hitting it off big. And the thing is that Christian still, I mean, even though he was portrayed as this shy, guy that wasn't outspoken, it kind of resonated here on the reunion, because even Tommy had to kind of push him a little to go ahead and just formally ask Andrea on a date. And of course she accepted. I'm glad she did. I'm kind of curious to see what happens with these two. But even Stacy had to give him a fist bump for taking that initiative to do it. Now, while Christian and Andrea are kind of cute, Ida and Khalil seem to have some problems on the horizon. Why? Well, for one, he wanted to hold off on going public and decided to take over that narrative during the reunion. I guess he thought that was the best time. Which, if you recall, Ida had already been burned when she was eliminated after many men allegedly felt up on her. So Khalil not coming correct probably triggered some not so good emotions, but of course that didn't get brought up. And Ida actually did spill a little bit of tea on how they were doing, and I'm going to drop that video coming up soon, so look out for that. But yeah, she really dropped the tea on her and Khalil and how that all went down, and even what their status was at the time of filming of this reunion. So, without me giving any details, because like I said, I'll drop that little snippet later in a different video. Yeah, the reason that she was reacting the way she was reacting is definitely going to be spelled out with what she had to say about this whole situation. But, she was saying originally in this episode that she wanted to go public and he didn't. And then now he says, oh yeah, me and Ida is a thing. So stay tuned for her statement on that. I'll drop that soon. So let's get into all of the drama, all of the tea: Ron, Alexis, Chrysanthemum, AJ, and Amber. So whether, they were on the couch or not, almost everyone agrees Ron brought a lot of drama on this episode. Now, remember how he exited the show, how he handled both Chrysanthemum or Alexis, especially with that statement about her, should have been being smarter than that in regards to what he said. And even trying to throw AJ under the bus. The way it looked real petty. But being that way is one thing when it's one-on-one. It's a whole nother thing when Tommy, of course, is asking the questions, following up on answers, and, taking people to task. However, what doesn't help is that Ron kind of backs off on taking accountability, and there's a clear desire to make sure it isn't all on him. It seemed like this is also a game that he plays with Alexis, who is definitely too exasperated to do all the back and forth. However, there was somebody else that was ready to set that record straight, and that was Amber, and show that she is not the one you want to see in court. How did she handle this situation? Amber confronts him about all he said with her name attached to it and gets him to tell the truth, leaving him looking embarrassed. And I mean, seriously, by what he said, he went from several dates to a couple dates to one date because she called him out like, no, no, you lying. We ain't been on no dates. And that's crazy. How did he come down from saying, oh, we've been on many dates? And then she was like, nope, no, we've been on a couple dates. Liar. I mean, it's just crazy how that whole thing happened. So I'm glad that she called him out. You don't mess with a Taurus woman. We going to pretty much keep it real with you, but we going to keep it straight facts, 100%. And the other thing is, who else told him that he needed to keep it 100 is Jason. When they had the commercial break, Jason pulled him to the side and pretty much told him, dude, you need to be straight up and honest. You can't be out here, talking all this trash and lying, and just tell the truth. So let's talk about some of these from the final four: Amber, Chris, Kyra, Alexis, and AJ. Now, speaking of Amber, she and Chris are doing just fine. They've been, dating still. She even gave him, because Chris' birthday was July 8th, she gave him a beautiful birthday gift with love, Amber. So they're doing just fine. And especially considering that they're one of the first couples to come out of the show to be in the final grouping that have made it, without some major stuff. You know what I mean? I actually had them on my radar. But in terms of AJ and Kyra, I'm wondering why they considered to be part of the final four, because they left not being a couple because she chose not to get into a relationship with AJ. And of course, that deemed the reason for a post-show discussion that goes into Kyra leaving the country for 2 weeks, getting to know AJ better by phone. And while doing all that, we learn AJ went on dates with Alexis. Now, just to clear things up, Alexis reached out to AJ for closure on her birthday, which I know probably is in March because she's a Pisces. And that is what led to the date and some kissing. Also, with no commitment with Kyra, AJ saw himself as single and free to date. Now, as of now, I don't know if Alexis and AJ are dating. I know they are cool because I posted a video on this channel of them doing a little fun Q&A with the fans. So you can go check that out. But, it's definitely at this point in time, they're not happy, and it just seems like, they're not a good fit. But like I said, who knows what's going on? They just did a recent Q&A, in regards to where they stand, their friendship, where they're dating, things like that. So I'll tag that also in this video. Now, I don't know if you guys remember that clip that we saw in the previews of Kyra. Seemed like she was yelling at Alexis. That wasn't even about her. And that's the thing. You got to sometimes wait and see the real story before jumping to conclusions, because they made it look like this edit that Kyra was about to get into it with Alexis, but it wasn't even about that. The other thing is that Tressa wasn't there in this particular episode because she tested positive for COVID-19. And it seems that she's doing well. She's back out there. And go check out the interview that she did also on this channel as well. Chris and Stacy remain close friends. They do note that there's a double standard regarding men and speaking to each other versus women on the show. And that was the interesting thing, because they had just showed a clip about this brotherhood and them sticking together and all of them in the gentleman's lounge, but it was a knock on Chris and Stacy. Even David jumped in and threw his 2 cents in about the fact that they didn't want to date either one because they don't want each other to tell each other's business about who like who. It is kind of a double standard, because the thing is, people are going to make friends. These folks are also friends from Ready to Love Last Resort, Season 3. So, I mean, people make friends. It is what it is. So, in summary, with this drama, whether the men put their foots in their mouths, meaning Khalil and Ron, or Kyra being put in the hot seat when it was realized the issue might not be AJ, we got a nice warm up. And then with Ron being questioned and sliced up was probably the best part. While, of course, they go off on him about what he says, I'm hoping that Amber mentioning that what was said that nearly blew up Joel and Vernisha is addressed, especially since they seem they have developed some problems since the finale. Also, Alexa's got a lot of time on the couch. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. I mean, she spent a lot of time having to explain herself, how she felt, or dealing with being rejected. She was a late game elimination and had two connections throughout the season, but, anyone that ever has spent that much time on the couch, I don't remember from any previous episodes, but it honestly seemed like she was pretty much exasperated by the time it was all over. So now for part 2, that leaves Liz and Jason and what their situation is. And most of us pretty much know if you watch my channel or the videos on my channel where they stand. If not, go check it out in my Ready to Love playlist. Everything that happened with Jason and of course Kyra is probably going to be talked about a lot more in part 2 this coming Friday as well. And then this one more couple, Joel and Vernisha. Look like there's a little trouble in paradise with these two from what we saw on the previews. But again, like I said, sometimes clips can be deceiving to get you to come back for next week. So we'll have to wait till next week to see what happened with the remaining crew. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.